Hello, everyone. My name is Alexander Ermenkov. I'm a ruling reality coach, and today is 14th of December 2023, and I'm continuing my series, Daily Reality with Alex. During this 2023, I'm presenting several different topics which are really helping me, and I'm implementing different principles in my personal life and experience regarding the way we as human beings are interacting with the outside reality. And today I would like to speak about the natural intelligence and to make a distinguishing between the natural intelligence and the artificial intelligence. And what really works strongly for me during understanding the natural intelligence and why for all of us is so important to know exactly what we are. And if we understand this principle of the natural intelligence, we are going to know more about what exactly are we. Okay, in a sense, we know that the human beings are, as animals, we are in a way something that we can call personality, but what exactly are we as human beings, and why it's important to understand the principle of the natural intelligence. And only if we know and apply this principle daily in our reality, we are able to benefit from the richness that is surrounding us, and we can day by day develop this natural intelligence and go to new levels of understanding, of wisdom, of perception about the NI, the natural intelligence. So let me start with the basic problem with why we, the human beings, cannot comprehend a very simple thing. And the simple thing is that all the time, every human being is created and is born into this reality without any previous knowledge. We don't have anything that immediately can be uploaded within us, and we can start from a very high perspective as humanity, so that the knowledge is coming to us from the first moment. No, we as human beings are born as empty as possible, and everything through learning, through experience, through the different type of scenarios that are becoming and are around us, like circumstances, we are gaining our natural intelligence. So yes, natural intelligence in a full capacity is available, but we are on a daily basis extracting it, downloading it, and we are constantly expressing this natural intelligence in our environment. So this is very important in order to understand why we are and why I'm so strongly imposing for interaction between the personality of a human being, which is actually a some simple vessel of natural intelligence, and its own surrounding, its own scenarios, with its own scripts and everything that is happening in our environment. And why are we to be selective, focused, and work with a lot of intent with everything that is happening around us in our environment? And that's why we are also in necessity to work with our reticular activating system in order from all the feed, from all the data which is coming from our surrounding, to pick and to focus only on the things that matter for our natural intelligence to develop. Once we realize that within this vessel we call a body, actually through our own existence while here in this reality, we are feeding this natural intelligence in order to be able to express ourselves into more alignment with the designer of this natural intelligence. So in a sense, when we open our eyes, when we in our conscious experience during the day enter this daily reality, what we are doing is we start working with these data streams, and we are processing through perception, through awareness, through consciousness, the development of this natural intelligence and its interaction with the outside objectivity of the reality. And once we learn how to depersonalize ourselves, how to depersonalize all the processes and everything around us without going into mechanicals and concepts and theoretical expressions and perceptions only, but are able both to understand the meaning of the separated consciousness of personality existence, but as well are willing to open ourselves towards the existence of the natural intelligence that is put in everything around us for a purpose. And here is where the uniqueness of each one of us comes into play, because there is a reason why me and you are brought into this existence for these specific times, for these specific experiences, and for these specific situations, in order me and you to be able to open ourselves and to drink and to draw from this natural intelligence in order to learn why, how, and the beauty of being aligned to the designers of the natural intelligence. And why I'm so eager and passionate about the natural intelligence, because if we want to differentiate the human experience and the human's existence from what we can design as artificial intelligence, where the algorithms, where the self-learning, where all the learning processes are working in order to create something that is going to serve us, in the same way, our outside environment, our macrocosmos, is constantly trying to teach us through everything we are experiencing. Then the big problem about the way we are perceiving and the way we are working, all of us, with the natural intelligence, is how open we are towards seeing, towards experiencing, towards extracting on a daily basis from this natural intelligence, and to allow the reality that we are co-generating, but is also there for us in order to give us a feedback, and also to constantly learn and to self-educate the natural intelligence that is put together with our consciousness into our perception and awareness. For me, this is a very important topic, and once I realized, and the more I go into these definitions of natural intelligence, the more I'm aware on what to put my focus and attention upon, because I know, during the day, during my feeding processes, the body is energized by the food, but the natural intelligence is in learning constant processes through the programmings that are put towards us through the different type of narratives. It doesn't matter if we draw from the history and experience of the mankind, if we go into philosophy, and different type of ancient books, and are trying to extract different type of information through which we are feeding the natural intelligence, still each of us have a choice to be aligned to the natural existence and intelligence, or to go into different type of dogmatic type of closed-minded existence, and just to stop the self-learning process and to close mind ourselves into different type of dogmatic experiences. And that's why I'm eager to always stay open towards everything and to never select and pick up specific bubbles and to feed only in them, but I'm interested in every possible topics that are able to give me more objectivity and my natural intelligence, because to be fed and to be developing, because long term I would like my existence to be as much as possible in alignment with the natural intelligence that is put as a design with a specific purpose to help us to not go into the delusions of our minds and to not go in a situation where we are disassociating ourselves from the reality through the mind. The big problem for the human beings is that we are to align our mind, our heart, our guts, and our existence as a care principle into the reality, and to understand and constantly to remind ourselves about our why we are here every second into this existence, and what exactly we can not only learn but also what we can express into this reality. And this is why the natural intelligence is helping a lot. But now let's put the share in order to see what are the chat GPTs and other different information giving to us, just to show you, for example, what is the difference between the artificial intelligence and the natural intelligence. AI is created by humans through programming and algorithms, while the natural intelligence is found in biological organisms and especially in humans. But important for the natural intelligence is that it is learning, it is feeding itself through experiences, through observation and cognitive processes. So if the AI is fed by data, we are feeding the natural intelligence through experiences, observations, and all the cognitive process with which we are decoding reality. So that's why daily, when we are working with information, when we are going into different situations, experiences, when there are narratives happening around us, it doesn't matter if it's on a small local level or a big human experiential level, all of these type of narratives can teach us about the NI, and constantly there is a narrative and programming going on a central level, because the ones that are designing the narrative for all of us as human beings are understanding quite well that we are part of the natural intelligence, and that we are to be fed constantly with different type of experiences. We are to monitor and observe different things constantly in order our cognitive processes to gain awarenesses. And there are a lot of specifics in this we can go out in, but the important thing is to understand, yes, the natural intelligence demonstrates a high degree of flexibility in adapting to various tasks and situations, and this adaptivity is helping and have helped the humanity to go through so many cycles of crisis, of destruction, of rejuvenation, and so on and so on, and to help us as humanity to raise our consciousness and to be able in the 21st or 22nd century to go into a more high level way of thinking, of perception, and into looking into the environment. Of course, the natural intelligence is working and possessing consciousness and self-awareness, and emotions are included into the experiences through which we are gluing the information and are putting it down strongly through the natural intelligence into our complex sensory organs of perception and everything as a biological tissue and organs that our natural intelligence is composed from. And we can go so on and so on regarding the way the natural intelligence is different than the intelligence of the artificial, and also regarding creativity and especially the ethical consideration. Natural intelligence operates with a sense of morality and ethical decision making. If there is a law for robotics, or if there is a law for AI where we're saying, okay, no robots in the future are going to hurt humanity, the natural intelligence that is implanted within us, for example, is also to be used in such a way that all the time we are in a mode of operandum where we are expressing ourselves into the good for all the humanity, for all and everything that is outside of our personal inner existence. And for me, this is very important to understand how the natural intelligence works, because only then we can understand why we are so gullible, why we are so manipulated and manipulative, and why it is so easy for us to distrust each other, or to have hidden agendas, or to have hidden intents, and so on and so on. But it doesn't matter if everything negative regarding natural intelligence is allowed to exist, yet we are able to constantly develop our natural intelligence, which is giving us the possibility to not be afraid from the interaction with our common holographic reality. And then the other interesting thing about the natural intelligence, that it is working on layers of perception depending on the way we are growing into our consciousness of understanding reality. And this is the reason why I'm so interested in how we as human beings are perceiving and ruling our own personal reality, because as I realized it, this is actually the most important tool and the most important skill each one of us is long-term to develop. Our own personal interaction with our reality and everything that is happening during the day is so important, and it is much more important than our thinking, because a lot of us think, well, Alex, everything is mind. If we just work with the mind, everything is going to be okay. And then we start wondering why actually everything that we are experiencing around us is not the same as the mind, because in the mind everything happens simultaneously. The mind can simulate everything into existence, but it doesn't mean that it is part of the physical matter reality and that it is part of everything that is into existence. It is still a realm of probability there. And the beauty about the natural intelligence is that it is giving us all the time the doors through which, through the natural intelligence, we can be connected through source, and through this connection to be able to express and to manifest into the physical matter reality everything that is in alignment with the natural intelligence. Everything that is working contrary to the natural intelligence is going into the field of ignorance, is going into the field of not having the ability long-term to happen. And then we are entering into different type of suffering modes, and not understanding and being regretful and not liking the way our reality around us is working for us, because we are active participator in what is not only happening, but also in all that is going to happen tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. And that's why I have created this type of a concept that during the day I am putting seeds into my daily reality, which are going to work with my subconsciousness so that in my next days that are coming, when I'm in a mode of loss and when I'm in a mode of not so strong awareness for a lot of things, then I see the inertia of the subconscious mind and my subconscious natural intelligence working in its environment. So whenever I observe my actions, whenever I see my inertia, still I know that I can shift, that I can long term work for some different types of amendments, but it is processes that need to be made within me. I need to feed my natural intelligence with different type of perception, with different type of awareness in order to be able long term in the future to experience the same reality in different ways than I'm experiencing today, because it's not only reaction solution, it is much more about we becoming consciously programming the way we would like to interact with the so-called natural intelligence. And that's why, for example, me as a Christian, for me it's very important to develop my relationship with the source and to be able to constantly understand why I am to be aligned in order to go through my reality, through the different type of processes, into so many type of interactions in different areas. It's not necessary for me to be just good in one area of existence and just to stay there. I can and you can develop in different areas of existence. Existence is not only about survival. Existence is not only about success, but it is also about the natural intelligence. And once we put this inside of our reticular activating systems, and once we start looking around us and recognizing each other's natural intelligence ability, we are going to spot the uniqueness that each one of us and the way each one of us is extracting different types of knowledge in different areas of existence. And that's why we can share and collaborate in large numbers as human beings into cooperation and exchange of this type of natural intelligence. That's why we have created this type of organizations as families, as relatives, as nations, as specific type of bodies and organization with different type of interests, in order we to share and to be able to draw from each other's natural intelligence and to be much more easily and able to broaden our experience, which is also a very important part of our existence. Because if you and I have already noticed, we are not only living in a complex reality, but we are living in this reality with a purpose. We are constantly to go into the state of not knowing, into the state of constantly exploring, into the state of always, every moment and every day, knowing that we are feeding our natural intelligence, that within this any moment, there are so many things we can perceive, there are so many things we can become aware for, in order in our next moment to be able to express ourselves in a more aligned way, so that we are much more open and positioned toward being of a benefit for all the surrounding. And more of us, if we go into this type of direction, more of us are going to work and live and be surrounded with a much more fruitful way of beingness and existence. And then we are going into different type of creativities, into different type of flourishing, of our environment. So in a sense, we are starting to create an ecosystem. We are starting to pollinate everything around us with the natural intelligence that is uniquely available for each us. And I encourage all of us to stop just withdrawing everything that we have gathered as awarenesses only for our own selfish existence, but to start openly share whatever we have with anyone we can interact with. So this is my small presentation, and that's why I'm so open with you on different topics. And during 2024, I'm going to make up to 10 minutes or even smaller typical videos in different areas of reality, where I'm going to show you how I'm using all these type of processes of spirituality, of natural intelligence, of the macrocosmos and microcosmos, of the inner world and the outer world, in the specific ways of my business, of my investments, of everything I'm doing into different particularities of my life, in order for all of us to realize that everything that happens with us during the day, if we feel it with purpose, with meaning, with openness toward the natural reality and our interaction, more and more fruitfulness is going to come for our reality, through us into the reality, and we are going to enjoy much more every moment of what we are experiencing here. So thank you for watching. Enjoy your reality. Be glad and joyful that the natural intelligence is not only part of us, but we are able and even within us are willing to develop it. Bye bye.